Welcome to the November Housing Market Report 2021. Lately, we have been focused in on the inventory levels and been watching those kind of tick up in different areas of the market here. Been ticking up across the nation, inventory levels, but nowhere near pre-pandemic levels. So getting right into it, Showing Time's monthly index is basically starting to level off. And what that is this is the service that we use to schedule showings. And so it is one of the first frontline indicators of what the market is doing and what's happening. Right next to pending sales, it's probably one of the top indicators out there. So if you're looking at what is happening on Showing Time, you want to start off in 2020, pre-pandemic. You see the two red lines there. That's when we had lockdown, and then right after that, we had that huge surge of business, and then we had another huge surge of business in January 2021, and then we peaked in March and April, and now we've been tapering down ever since. Now the dotted line here on this represents kind of the mean or average for a regular market, and it's really still above what we saw pre-pandemic. Going over to this next slide here, just as an example, look at 2017 to 2019. All three really good, solid years for real estate. Still a seller's market, particularly here in San Antonio. It would have been much higher of an index here. This is nationwide right here. And then 2020, we see the huge spike of business that we talked about in the last graph. And then again in 2021, another spike of business. But now we see a tapering. So yes, the market is changing. We are seeing a shift. We are tapering down, but we're nowhere near where we began this journey. So yes, we'll continue to keep an eye on this, and we expect maybe some more tapering through 2022. But overall, we're not looking at a huge market correction that would represent maybe what we call a crash or something like that. Particularly here in San Antonio, there might be some areas that are affected, and maybe they are so far overpriced. But San Antonio is one of those destination cities I've mentioned before in the past. So let's look a little further in this data. Home sales forecast by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, National Association of Realtors, and Mortgage Bankers Association is predicting that we'll finish this year above 6.5 million homes sold. And that's what we sold in 2020. So 2021, we should end up with over 6.5 million homes sold. 2022, they are predicting here again, eclipsing 6.5 million homes sold. Even higher, actually. Mortgage Bankers Association is shooting for 7.5. So that is quite a bit of business that we're looking to pack into 2022, and that translates into what's next: more forecasted home appreciation. And the home appreciation looking forward, looking at around 5.1%. It's not the double digits that we saw this past year, but it's still above average appreciation. Typically, we're looking at around 3% appreciation per year in a decent year. And so it's going to be an above average year for price appreciation going in 2022. And it's really simply due to inventory constraints. We still don't have enough inventory. We're getting some. Again, we're getting some builder inventory, we're getting some foreclosures, we're getting some absentee owners, maybe landlords putting their homes on the market, but it's nowhere near what we really need to take a real big bite out of the problem. However, it is getting easier for some buyers to make moves because of the shift that is happening. So keep that in mind. Going over to the next slide here, we're going to look at what we saw here in San Antonio and how that compares. Last year in 2020, we had about 6% appreciation, and then in 2021, we're at 15%. So that's quite a big jump there. And where are these people coming from? I mean, they're really coming from all over. But the two main places that they are coming from, this is from Redfin, is Houston, Texas, in the state, and Los Angeles, California. Okay, this is according to Redfin's website. And this is we make top 7, okay, out of the top 10 destination cities where people are moving around and reorganizing their lives this past year. This was the third quarter here. So that is quite the difference. If you look at, third quarter of 2020, we had about 3,000 people move in. And then quarter 3 in 2021, we had 5,000. So it increased from 2020 to 2021. Who knows what's in store for us next year if that continues. But all signs point to additional price increases, additional appreciation in home values in 2022, and we'll see how long that lasts. We don't know exactly what can stop that. We know interest rates will play a factor or play a role in there. The Fed does want to raise rates, or they're going to have to raise rates. They're going to have to stop doing some of their buying of equities and manipulating the market. So that is going to change. We'll see higher interest rates towards the end of next year, or if they decide they want to raise rates sooner because of this inflation, and we may see it sooner. So that will have that will affect what is happening in the market, but by how much and when, I don't know. But one thing is for sure in this last slide here is that most city leadership seems to want to go ahead and continue building for the future in this city. I see here in the San Antonio Express News broke a story that airport expansion is something that's on the table. It's part of the master plan. They want to bring in more international flights. They want to attract more airlines to bring flights here to San Antonio. So that would translate into more business. More business equals more people needing to move here for work, and continued improvement projects on the city. That whole infrastructure bill that was just passed is going to play a big role in that. The city's already trying to maneuver to get some of those funds so that they can build a bigger airport. So we'll see how that works out. But at the end of the day, whether you're a buyer or a seller, San Antonio is a growing city. It's going to continue to grow. We're looking at more price appreciation. We're looking at hopefully one day we'll have more inventory. But in the short term, I think it's going to continue to be a seller's market. January, San Antonio Board of Realtors will be putting out their own forecast for the housing market. I'll be tuning into that, and I'll get back to you on that. And then, of course, we'll have our December market report and see what that holds. So if you have any questions, let me know. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and join my email list. I'll put a link in the description for that, and I'll see you on the next video.